This is my current squat setup. Although I've built a few big full-size racks in the past, with limited space, I just threw together these temporary squat stands. I never even welded the two scrap pieces, I just bolted them together. But now it's time to finally build a more permanent solution. It's done now, basically. It's sturdy, as you can see. It's basically like any other half rack, except instead of having the same vertical tube on the back and then just sitting on the floor, I've removed that vertical tube and I've anchored it directly to a concrete wall. And there's 4 anchors on each side, so the thing is probably never going to go anywhere unless I go through the very tedious process of intentionally removing it. If you look here, I haven't polished it up or cleaned it or painted it, so you'll still see some imperfections. Right now I'm in the testing process before I make it all pretty. But it's, 1/4-inch plate wraps around the back, 1/4-inch plate backing here, 1/4-inch plate on the front, the 13mm pin here. But this, instead of being the 1/4-inch plate that just hoops underneath, it's the same square tubing that the rest of the rack is made of. One of the other benefits, supposedly, is that because the pin is right here and the bar sits so high relative to the pin, you'll know exactly where the bar is going to be because that's where the actual pinhole is at. If I need the bar to be right here at that pinhole, then I actually put it right there at that pinhole. And then there it is, right where I actually want the bar. The entire purpose of this weight stack is not to be its own independent machine. It's not to do exercises on this. It's just to act as an accessory pulley for my cable machine over here. I personally, when it comes to my workouts and my routines, I'm a huge fan of cable crossovers. Instead of building an entire secondary machine like this that goes all the way over here, and then kind of taking up more floor space by doubling the same machine that I only need one of, I can grab this, I can grab this, I can center myself on the floor, and I can do my cable crossovers right here. And they are like traditional real deal cable crossovers. Each one of these squares is 50 centimeters, so a ½ meter. This bar stops right at the end of this square. So I have 50, 1, 52, 53. 3 meters or 10 feet of space from the end of the squat rack to this wall. And 51, 52, 50. To the corner here and to where the weight stack is at, I have 250 centimeters, so 2.5 meters. So that's a pretty good open space of actual available room still left over to put additional machines or accessories or anything else, along with that back corner over there. So it really freed up a lot of space. And not only did it free up a lot of space, but it gave me what's really a better option and a better machine. This was a job well done. I'm very excited about using it. It's gonna be a huge upgrade over the squat stands I was using before. This whole thing from start to finish, from actually taking the blank tubing that had no marks on it to having a functioning squat rack, took me 4 hours of total fabrication time. So from the floor to here, it's 2 meters. The back of this tube to the wall, or basically the length of the tube here, is 50 centimeters, so half a meter. So you can make as many holes as you want when you build your squat rack, but mine, each of the holes are 10 centimeters apart. As far as the size of the holes, each of these holes are 13 millimeters. Well, they are about 13 millimeters. The initial hole was 13, and of course I clean it out a little bit so that my 13 millimeter rod can actually slide in there and it won't grab or snag. And that's basically it. You saw everything. It's very, very simple design. 2 upright tubes, 4 anchoring tubes, 13 millimeter holes that are 10 centimeters apart. Very basic J-cups. You could actually probably order J-cups online. You don't have to make your own because again, it's a very basic 13 millimeter hole and a 2-inch by 2-inch square tube. So that's a really common size to find. Any more questions, I guess you can ask. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you build your own. Like I said, very simple, basic material. It's strong, it's commercial quality. It's very simple, easy to find materials. It's not expensive. It didn't take very long to make. I didn't need a lot of tools. All I needed was my angle grinder. Of course, all the welding took place with a very basic DC inverter stick welder. I didn't even use one of my old big drill presses. I used a very basic, small, like benchtop drill press. I hope you build one. If you do, send me pictures, let me know. I love this kind of stuff. And on to the next video.